my God. So I've woke up this morning and thought, yeah, I'm not going to go to Slimming World. I don't want to. I'm going to have put loads of weight on. Like, I feel like this morning, I feel like I've put on about 8 or 10 pound. And, you know, because I've been doing this a while, I kind of feel it. Do you know, like, you're more conscious, aren't you? So I woke up this morning and I've not got, well, I got dressed into just like a co-ord set that I bought just from Shein, which I really like, can I add? And is totally out of my style. Not done my makeup or anything. And I had a cup of tea and I thought, I'm not going. I'll wait until I've been to this festival and then I'll go and get weighed. And then I've just been listing some things on my Vinted, and I'm not starting work while 12 because I always book Thursday morning off. Plus I've got loads to do to get ready for the festival. I've not packed. I'm currently just still washing like some clothes that I bought because I've got nothing suitable for a festival. And it just dawned on me. Yeah, I've put weight on, but I'm braver than that, than avoiding the scales. I've done this for like ages. Why am I doing that to myself? And I just think I've had it a bit rough over the last few weeks. Like, I'm going to say 4 weeks to be truthful about it. And I thought, why are you doing that? Like, why have you like lapsed into this old manner? And it's time to just suck it up, face the scales, take the damage, draw a line under it and get weighed. So I've jumped in the car. All I've grabbed is this for the Slimmer of the Week box, and then my book, so I've got my card and I can actually get weighed. I heard my card's in there actually. Yeah, it is, I've just checked. And my purse. So it is now 9:15. I may have missed the weigh-in now, but then I can get weighed after the group if I need to. I think I'm gonna have to buy, I think I'm in debt now. I think I've got to buy extra weeks because I think my like week countdown thing will have like run out and stuff, which is fine. So yeah, I'm being brave this morning. I'm quite proud of myself for getting off my arse and just thinking, no, you're not doing that. You're not avoiding it. We are not lapsing into that kind of behaviour. It is what it is. Put weight on, that's fine. I'll knock it back off again. But I do, in my head, it's just dawned on me that, you know, like, it's what I need. I need to go and get weighed. I need to reset and just be like, right, just start from here. It's fine, whatever it is. It's not like I ain't been in debt before and paid it back. So I don't really know why we're avoiding it. I just got in my own head. I've had a really tough 4 weeks. The hormones aren't helping. I'm feeling a little bit better. Am I feeling 100% better? No. My sleep is horrendous. My moods are awful. Things are a lot better with Oliver, which I think helps. Tia's back on the ship and settled and feeling a lot better in herself. She's rang me this morning actually, and maybe that's what gave me like a bit of a glimmer of, do you know what, just you're braver than this, because I think she's brave going on a ship, traveling around on her own. She's a proper mummy's girl, so I do think that that's hard for her. And if I've brought my babies up to be brave and strong, then I've also got to be brave and strong and get on these scales. I'm fucking terrified, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling the love this morning, but I know that once I'm there and I'm in group, things will feel a lot better. And it's not like the judgmental or anything like that. I'm not really even pissed with myself about putting weight on, because I think that is life and that's how it is. It'd be amazing to be super consistent and never have these lapses, but ultimately this is a real weight loss channel and I will show you the ups, downs, if, buts and maybes. Now I say that, but I've not uploaded in freaking ages, have I? But that is just because I've not had time and crap going off. I just think I need to just take it for what it is. So I'm gonna get off here now and I am gonna run into group. It's the new kind of format for group, which I've not properly taken part in yet, so that'll be interesting and quite good. And I'm in a major rush, so I will catch up with you after I've got weighed and tell you what the damage is. I feel a little bit like I should like have a section here to be like 4 days later, because as you can see, I'm not dressed the same as when I started this video. I went to weigh in, I braved it, I did it, I recorded in the morning, had absolute full intention of recording more. But then Thursday was really busy at work, so I didn't finish my video. Friday I was really busy at work and then had to come home. Oh, did I do that Friday? No, I'm lying. So on Thursday I finished work, and then Thursday night I had to pack for the festival. I still had stuff in the house to organise and sort out, ready to go and leave it. Friday morning I woke up and off I went to the festival, and then I've been there all weekend. I was supposed to be staying at the festival while Monday morning, but I bailed. But that's for another video, and I will update you on how that went. But I'm home, and I haven't recorded the last bit of my weighing video, what I started on Thursday, and now it's Monday, which is a little bit crap of me and totally and utterly outside of what I said I was going to do. But life just at the minute does seem to be a little bit manic. Now, I haven't done my hair, I've just washed it and left it to dry, which you can see is just a complete mess. But at least I'm clean. I've not done my makeup today because I've just had a weekend of feeling grimy, and I just want my skin just to be free of anything. I've just moisturised this morning, well, washed my face and then moisturised. And then I have been out, met Oliver for breakfast, and then thought, I think I better come home and finish my weighing video and get that up, so then we can kind of get in some form of order. Because I'm finding that when I'm videoing late, I kind of miss stuff, and then it seems pointless recording stuff and putting it on. And like I said, I like my channel to be like in some form of order, so you guys know where I'm at and what I'm feeling like. I know where I'm at and what I'm feeling like. And it's just like I can reflect on it chronologically. Is that the right word? I think it's the right word. I'm feeling tons better than when I updated saying, yeah, I were back. My hormones do seem to have settled. I am having a few little issues, but I'm not sure whether they're like menopausally related. I think that's just the fact that I've taken my old ass to a festival. But anyway, I'm going to stop trying to say but I will always do that, and it will be totally unintentional, but that's just life. Let me get back to it. So I went into group and it was beautiful. I totally and utterly missed it, and it gave me the oomph and cheered me up as to what I needed. Gary and Bri were there, who are seem to have become a little crew at Slimming World, which I sit with them and I enjoy them. They've got good banter, they're a nice duo. Usually I've been a very girly girl, so for me to actually home in probably more towards the male group is quite unusual for me. Not that I don't home in towards the females, but my new little crew, because everybody at Slimming World's changed from last year. Or not everybody's changed, but things have changed since last year. And I do seem to find my little crew with Gary and Bri, and they are lovely. They look after me. Bri always offers to make me a coffee, and it was really nice. They've been a little bit naughty as well as me, so we shared that as a mutual interest and common ground, and it made me feel a little bit better. I did get on the scales, was completely and utterly shiting myself, and that is mental. So let me give you the figures. So the last time I got weighed was 3rd of the 7th, 2025. And I weighed in at 14 stone, 9.5, and I'd lost 1.5 pound and took my loss to 10 stone, 6. I only had 1 more pound to get that to 10.5 stone. All that has changed because then I didn't get weighed while the 31st of the 7th, 25. I thought it was 3rd, but it's not. It's how it's been written. I've got my book here. I'm reading off it. And so I'm not actually I've gone 4 weeks now without being weighed. And I've not been good. I've not been amazing. I've tried not to be super, super bad, but I'd had a little bit of a manic time of it. Life just completely got in the way. So I got on the scales at 14 stone 12. So I have put on, however, for 4 weeks, I've only put on 2.5 pound, which I think previously when I've had gains, they have been over a week and they've been more than that. I've put 3 pound on a week. Let me have a look. £4 on in a week. I had one week where I think I put on £16 or £15.5, something like that, in 1 week. So £2.5 for 4 weeks, I think is quite stable, and I think that's quite okay. Not that I want to keep doing that, but to still be in the 14s, even after a month off of Slimming World and following plan and like aiming at it, I found that quite good. I do feel more bloated, but £2.5 is quite okay for me, and I feel quite happy. I'm going to say happy with that. Like, I'm not stupid. I would be happier losing weight and that I'd not put £2.5 on. But I'm starting to be a bit calmer about that. I did shite myself getting on the scales, not going to lie. But to get on there and it'd be like £2.5, Leanne, yeah, I figured that was pretty reasonable. I was quite okay with that. And I have eaten out and I have enjoyed myself, and I just think that's quite stable, and I think that's quite reasonable. And ultimately, if I'm going to live in this normal life where I'm not constantly like, not restricting myself, but being really, really conscious all the time about what I'm eating, then I'm going to have breaks from this, breaks where I do put a little bit of weight on, and then I'd be more conscious and pull it back down. And I think that's how I'm going to find my stability. I would love to be this steady individual that doesn't really move, but I'm not even sure that exists. Like, normality is, from what I'm researching, because normal to me does never existed, like, ever. And normal to me seems to be, amongst other people that I speak to, is that they do go away, they do have time off, they do overindulge sometimes, they enjoy life, and they do put on a bit of weight, and then they do be more conscious and pull it down. But rather than it being like a massive deal where it's like, oh my God, I failed, I need to restart, they don't, they just plod on with it. And it brings me back to saying, I don't want to do a restart on this. I don't want to not go for a few weeks and overindulge and be like, right, throw that book out the window, I'm having a new food optimizing book, I'm going to start again from week 1. I think it's really important not to do that, because how the hell do you learn if you do not like take the whole journey into account? Because if you wipe clean stuff, like for me, I'm just going to talk for me. If I wipe clean everything that I do, any mistake, any positive, then how do I learn from that? How do I move forward? How do I reduce them mistakes? Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to have weeks where it's really crap and you don't do as well. But you might even have months where you don't do as well. But unless you take the rough with the smooth, the good and the bad, the mistakes, the victories within your journey, then you're never going to change like habits of a lifetime. I have had so many years of doing like diets where I'm really extreme and I'll restrict myself and then I'll put it back on and then I'll have a break. I try and forget about it because it makes you feel guilty and you feel a failure. And then you start a brand new one. You start again from word dot and you've lost £1 and you've lost £7 and you do that and then you go backwards. It's like just this diet cycle. And I genuinely, I hope that maybe I help one person break that diet cycle and come on this journey with me and see that I screw up. I'm not good all the time. I have a life. I'm not perfect. I fucking wish I was. Do you know who's perfect to me? Jane Day. Jane Day has got this shit screwed down. She is fantastic, that woman. I admire the living hell out of her. I admire her honesty. I admire her wisdom. I call them Team JJ because it's Jane and Joe. They exercise. They are fucking consistent as hell. And I love that. And I love having her around and watching her videos, because I kind of look up to her as this god who I wish one day to achieve that kind of amazingness. And Jane will absolutely curse me for this, but I'm gonna call her perfection. Like, she has got it down. I would love to be there. I'm not there. Realistic, I am not there. And maybe my emotional maturity, which then links to my eating patterns, is not quite as stable and as developed. And I've not got the wisdom, and I've not got that history and that mentality.
And I completely and utterly, like, totally admire that woman. She is fucking ace. If I could adopt her as my best friend, I genuinely would. So if you're not somebody that watches Jane Day, go over there and watch Jane Day. Because even if you're not achieving what she's achieving, the consistency, the level, that is brilliant. I love how Jane she follows rules to a T. And I would love to be that person, but I am probably the most opposite to Jane that you'll ever meet. I rebel against every rule. You put a rule in front of me and I find, without even meaning to, I find a way to be defiant. Like, and I want to do that. I don't know why. I think it's something inside of me. There's something, obviously, in my upbringing or something inside of me. Maybe it's maturity, but you put a rule and tell me not to do something, and there's always, I mean, I don't always break the rules, but there's always a little bit inside of me that says, oh, I want to, now you've told me not to, I want to. Like, just an example, totally going off plan, like off what I was talking about, but we went away to Morocco. And during our time in Morocco, went to Oswald waterfalls, and there's these wild monkeys. Now the guide's there saying, I advise you maybe don't touch the monkeys. You can give them some food and go near them, but I'd advise you not to. Oliver then went full blown pelt because he's like Jane. He likes a rule and he likes things in a box and done how they are meant to be done. He's saying to me, he looked at me straight away. He knew exactly what was coming because we've been together now 8 years. And he was like, Leanne, don't fucking touch the monkeys. They are dangerous. If they bite you, it will be poorly. Like, we will have to go to hospital. Don't touch the monkeys. Now, when I've got a guide and I've got Oliver both here saying to me, don't hold the monkeys, my little brain and immaturity and rebellion or whatever it is inside of my little head says, but that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I need to touch a monkey. I need to hold a monkey. Like, you're telling me not to hold a monkey. So now that automatically says, hold that fucking monkey. I want that monkey. I want to cradle, kiss, cuddle and do everything I can with that monkey. Now, I'm not stupid. I know that's dangerous and I know the wild animals and that I shouldn't be holding that monkey. I want to hold that monkey there. So off I troddles on this waterfall thing. Out of my back from breakfast, I put in 2-3 bananas, pulls out my banana. Oliver knows exactly what's coming. He knows there's no point in lecturing me anymore. He walks off, gets the camera and says, you're a grown woman. I've told you not to hold that monkey. Guess who ended up with 3 monkeys on her shoulders? Me. I had a gigantic monkey holding my leg. I shite myself. It was scary as hell. I thought I was going to get bit and get rabies. I thought I might lose a finger. I could have lost an eye, who knows. But I held a monkey and everything was all right. And it's actually, ultimately, I think it's Oliver's fault for telling me not to hold the monkey because he knows exactly what I'm like. But with this diet, you give me a rule book and I will, if it makes complete sense to me and I enjoy it and I'll get my head around it. But if somebody has got this rule book in front of me, I just feel like rules are sometimes meant to be broken and that's what makes my life interesting. Being a little bit naughty. Yeah, that was long-winded, weren't it? So anyway, that is where I'm at. I have done 4 weeks off. I've rambled on now for God knows how long, so you get to know me a little bit. And I have shown my sheer admiration for Jane Day and the God that is Slimming World for me is Jane Day and Joe. And I am still doing my exercises. If Jane ever sees this, tell Joe I am still doing my exercises. He gave me exercises because I've got one leg bigger than the other and I'm trying to equal them out. So what I do at the gym now, like I developed them a little bit. I could actually do with some more exercises, Joe, so I feel like you're slacking a little bit. Just letting you know, not that I'm your responsibility, but I do feel like you're slacking a bit. And Joe told me to do them exercises. That is one thing I stuck to. Maybe because he did it really kindly and didn't tell me I had to. And it was in my best interest. And I admire and respect the fact that he put together some exercises for me. I've done them exercises. I now do the like squatty things. Like when I first started doing them, I couldn't even do what he told me to do. They're not squats, they're like lunges. What is the right word for them? If you go back through Jane's thing, you'll see the exercises he did for me. I do those, but now I do them with weights and I do leg presses and I do a whole array of things on my legs now to try and even them up. And I might be totally and utterly deluded, but they are starting to even up and I can walk down, like my posture's getting so much better. I don't lead all the time with my strongest leg. My legs are now evened out a lot, and if I'm hiking around or doing anything, yeah, like my legs are the strength in my legs is a lot more even. I would say the left leg is a bit smaller still to the right, but it is starting to even up. I have huge issues with my legs and I'm working on it, and that's just going to be a progression that we make over time. But overall, quite happy with that. Just hinting out there to Joe, we could do with some arm exercises and possibly stomach. Not so much stomach, I don't want a six pack, but you know, like these sidey bits, I don't really use them muscles a lot. And like, I'm doing this turny thing at the gym. Just don't feel like it's that effective. Actually, I could probably research that myself rather than relying on somebody else to do it. Probably will. Anyway, so that is it. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. This is me done. As you can see, I'm right back to my chirpy, mental, not quite okay way, but okay for me. I'm feeling a lot more on the ball. I'm going to now get off and get like my house. I've left Oliver in my house for a weekend and Jesus Christ, it's so messy. So I'm going to try to upload this so then that can go up tonight on a Monday night. And then it means I can probably record my video from the weekend so I can show you, if you're interested that is, on what happened at the festival, which it was funny, but oh God, it was something else. So yeah, I'll probably try to get that done today or tomorrow. And other than that, well, Oliver's actually really missed me. I think absence has made the heart grow fonder. So he's on about coming home early from work, which I could really do without because I've got stuff to do. But I suppose it's quite nice, isn't it? Anyway, I've got a secret as well that I'm going to tell you soon, I think. Because I'm like really honest with you guys. So, and nobody I know really watches this. So maybe that is a thing that I'll tell you about soon. Anyway, I will see you soon. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I am so behind on everybody's videos and updates and comments. I will get to those soon. Think then.